Hi everyone, hope you guys are all doing well. We're just going to do a quick video here just talking about us enjoying the silver journey, just our journey into coin roll hunting and building our silver stack, but focusing at the same time on financial independence. But before I do that, I should just mention that it is both of us doing the video this time.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, I thought that I would invite my brother back into this one. It was just me in the previous video, and I think people liked that a little bit more, but
Well, no, I saw some comments actually saying,
yeah, I thought I deleted those ones, but let's jump
But it
back.
is good to be back on this interesting topic, so I'm glad I can weigh in on it with you.
Yeah, and I think people like the discussion a little bit more, and I know I enjoy it better when there is the both of us. But just getting into the video here, I just want to use an article from a Canadian website. It's called the Business News Network. I've used it before in the past. I just wanted to use this article here as a backdrop for the discussion. It's entitled, "Most Canadians Did Not Set Aside Retirement Funds in 2014. And again, it's just based upon a poll that was done with a number of different Canadians. Just scrolling down quickly, just a couple of the important points. It said that only 39% of the respondents had put any money away for their retirement in 2014. And a little bit more important, it said that 1/3, about 30%, have not begun saving at all for their retirement. And, you know, it seems like this is kind of consistent numbers with Canadians.
Yeah, and I knew that it would be a big number, but 30% is pretty shocking for me when I heard that for the first time.
Yeah, and I think it was...
1/3.
Yeah, I think it was pretty surprising for most individuals that saw this. Again, this is kind of the position that the article took. But just quickly, there are a number of reasons why I think that people aren't setting aside basically any money for their retirement. The first one, and we've talked about this a number of times in our videos, is just most importantly the interest rates, and more specifically low interest rates. Unfortunately, the article doesn't mention it at all,
Which is common.
Yeah, which is...
Don't see that mentioned a lot in a lot of articles, especially in BNN.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
and in my opinion, the number one reason is because interest rates are so low. With low interest rates, there's really no reward for saving. You're not going to earn a significant interest rate percentage. And really, a lot of people, they don't want to be speculators either. A lot of people just want to put it into their saving account, earn a small interest rate, and then kind of be done with it. But with interest rates this low, you're pretty much forced to be a speculator, whether in the stock market or in housing and real estate or something else entirely. And I think a lot of people just don't want to do that. So low interest rates, basically one reason why. Just quickly, another one too is there's not a lot of disincentives or punishment for not saving. Again, if people are in debt quite significantly, higher interest rates would kind of provide a disincentive to try to get people to save a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And rather, there's no punishment when interest rates are this low.
No, and it just seems instead of sort of paying that debt off, people are just borrowing more.
Exactly.
Going deeper into debt, and we're seeing that with the numbers that we talked about in that the last video,
Mm-hmm.
with increasing household debt, I believe it was, right?
Right, exactly. So there's not a lot of disincentives, there's no rewards, and then just finally too, inflation really is kind of just causing assets to increase significantly. And when I say assets, investment portfolios in the stock market, I know in Canada, I don't know if the stock market's at an all-time high, but it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And also too, I'm pretty sure housing is at an all-time high right now. So a lot of people probably look at their assets and say, well, I'm a lot richer
Mm-hmm.
than what might be the case, so why would I start saving for retirement when I think my house is going to increase?
And I always, whenever I hear inflation, I always just think that that's the elephant in the room.
Right.
Something that people don't really take into consideration when buying a house or just in day-to-day finances.
Right.
The prices of most goods are going up, and you know, we hear that it's 2%. The numbers are always debated,
Mm-hmm.
but year after year, we do know that is going to have an effect on people.
Right, exactly. And this article, you know, basically just sets out the numbers. It's not really an opinion piece that's written, but you don't hear anything about interest rates or inflation or any of the three kind of points.
The only places
discussed.
you hear about that is on this channel.
Right.
Those are three things or two things that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
And the other channels, I'm just kidding.
The silver community.
Silver community in general is pretty good on that.
Right. And again, those are I think that's because, the silver community has recognized that, and it's kind of a natural next step to look to coin roll hunting, or more importantly, precious metals.
For sure.
To try to protect yourself. But just also, too, just using this article here, what we've been talking about quite a lot recently is, yes, we're silver stacking. Yes, we're doing coin roll hunting from time to time, copper pennies, nickels. As much fun as that is, and as great as it is to build our silver stack, what we're really always focusing on is just the end goal of financial independence. We're not really, I think it's safe to say, speak for the both of us here, we're not focused so much on retirement as it's usually defined in as a specific point where you're going to retire, but more so just financial independence. And I think that everything we do in regards to our silver stacking and to coin roll hunting in a lesser extent is really just focused on financial independence. And also, too, some people, they would hear that and say, well, if you want financial independence, silver isn't the best asset.
You hear it all the time.
Yeah, that if you're going to try to be financially independent, you want to try to have investments that are going to pay you, like dividend stocks, things like that.
And you heard that a lot, especially with the way that the stock market rose. That was just hammered out there.
Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of people look to silver or gold to try to go to try to achieve financial independence. That's fair enough. That could be a whole video in and of itself.
Just our personal,
right?
What happens in our own personal life when people hear what we're doing.
Exactly.
You're right. That's a whole different video.
Yeah, we could kind of maybe discuss that in a different video. But there are a couple of benefits to silver stacking in regard to just trying to achieve financial independence. I mean, to be honest, silver is really the only asset that we have at this point. We're coming off
slowly
of school.
Changing. But...
Yeah, hopefully changing at some point. But for us, silver has been pretty important in trying to achieve financial independence in a couple of ways. And the first way is one that when I started silver stacking, it didn't occur to me at all. And that is really just the forced savings and kind of adding a little bit of discipline into saving that silver provides. And I remember the first time I heard it was in I think it was a Google Hangout on FT Ideas discussion with himself. And I think it was the Sharp and Shiny as well. They were just discussing that, well, look, if you're going to put money into silver, you're still going to have the silver at the end of the day. You're going to have some savings, and it's going to, if you're trying to increase your silver stack, it's going to have to force some saving discipline upon you. And I think that was a really good point. Something that hadn't occurred to me when I started silver stacking. At the end of the day, even if there was no increases and it just kind of stayed at 16 or 17, you're still going to have that money rather than spending it frivolously.
Exactly, and that's something that's become very attractive to us as our stack is growing these days. I mean, before when we had a few ounces here, a few ounces there, we kind of thought about it, but now that we have, I'd call it a substantial,
I think so.
Substantial stack. This is something that we think about a lot and actually motivates us.
Right. And again, too, it is just a good way to, put some discipline instead of going out and spending. If you're going to put it into an asset and it's going to keep its value, it's not going to be an easy way to spend that money. But also, too, I think an important point is, and again, too, we don't talk about specific percentages. We like to stay in the 10% to 20%, maybe more towards the 10%, just kind of with the environment here. Maybe a little bit higher, but you might not want to go higher than 10% of your assets. But I'm not really an expert on any of that.
We never really like saying how much you should put into it. We always just sort of like to talk about what we're doing.
Exactly, what works
and
for us.
10% sort of, and maybe even that 20% range, but closer to 10%. That's sort of what we want to do and what's been working for us.
Right. And I first kind of heard that 10% number with Peter Schiff.
Yeah. As soon as you brought that up, I thought Peter Schiff.
So it's just kind of been a good kind of guideline for us.
Yeah.
But also, too, it would work well with other investments. And again, too, a lot of people have different investment ideas. But silver is a good hedge that if there is an inflationary period where something was to happen, then again, if you're trying to achieve financial independence, if your assets are going to go down, devalued through inflation, then again, precious metals might be a good idea just to help, hedge against some of those other investments. Exactly. And it kind of works well just in that regard.
Yep.
And then lastly, just before the video, we were quickly just kind of discussing some of these points. And we did kind of say, well, it is our opinion that we're doing this because we think that silver is going to go up to some extent
at some point
in the future. If we talk about it all the time, and we don't have any set number that we're hoping on, but we just think that, given the monetary and fiscal inflationary environment that we've focused on since probably 2007, this is really silver stacking, precious metals, coin roll hunting is really just applying those theories and kind of looking at the data, just applying that and then trying to get silver and those things.
For sure. So I think we talk about a lot of points and we bring some of them up in this video, but at the end of the day, we are hoping for some return on the silver. And
I think so, and at least protect some of our wealth that way. I mean, if you're going to try to get financial independence in this environment, it makes sense for us, and it kind of works for us to try to protect some of that wealth, and then hopefully be financially independent at some point.
And I think we're sort of in an interesting time right now. We're finishing school. We're sort of entering the working world. So it's just kind of nice how we can talk about what we're doing.
Right. And we just kind of wanted to make the point that, as fun as it is, silver stacking, and it's always great, we do a lot of videos where we show what we have, not really kind of the end goal that we have in mind. At this point, we talk a lot about monetary policy and fiscal policy and that type of thing, kind of protect our wealth. But at the end of the day, unlike the other Canadians who apparently, aren't setting aside anything, our main goal is at some point to be financially independent. Silver has some benefits that we believe anyway that will help us achieve that goal. But I think we'll stop the video here.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. Maybe I can be on the next one.
Yeah, maybe I'll extend an invitation. We'll see we'll let the people decide though. But
you guys are the voice.
If you like both of us on here just discussing a topic, let us know, and maybe I'll invite them back again for the next one.
Would be much appreciated, guys.
But thank you very much for listening and watching as always. We haven't had too much coin roll hunting and silver stacking on the channel in a while. We are looking at some different purchases to be made with silver stacking, so maybe we'll discuss that. Just kind of look at, instead of showing you guys what we have, maybe we'll just do a little bit of a discussion on what we do whenever we want to make a silver purchase. Just kind of discuss a couple of the products we want to buy.
Yeah, and maybe some of the ones we're looking at, like you said right now.
Yeah, we have a couple in mind, and it'd be great to share that and hopefully get your opinions on it too. But then also, maybe we'll start even to look in, because we're trying to get back into coin roll hunting in 2015 here. We're really going to try to kind of stay consistent, get a coin order at the bank just to help us with that. So hopefully we'll get some more videos out on those topics as well.
But for now, we're really enjoying these discussions.
Yeah, I think
we definitely will be getting more of these up.
Yeah, the discussion's always fun. But if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate that. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next video.
Thanks a lot, guys.